How are we doing, folks? So I've got another little small job in. It's this conversion we did on the Daytona when we did the 600 series carbs, and we put the remote pilot jets in there because obviously we had a problem in the area where that little brass core plug is, where you can't get the growth and the stuff that all aluminium decomposing gets in there. You struggle to get it out. So removing the fixed pilot jet and putting the remote one in gives you access to clean everything and to be able to clean it in the future as well. So we've got a 900 series this time. I think it's a 928, and I think it's going to be a 25cc pilot. So let's get set up for it and let's have a go. See you in a second. So it's a 928. So let's just quickly open him up. I mean, we'll get this out of the way because we don't need this bit at all. Oops, wrong container. That's another job, that's that one. We'll mix them up. Oops, nearly. On the top. Looks quite in good nick actually. Looks quite good. Float, bowl. Looks nice and clean inside there. And it's got, I mind you, that's a bit manky in there, that wants a bit of a clean, right? And it's got the Viton tipped fuel jet, which is good. We'll just pull this out, just get it out of the way while we're messing around in here. Oh, that's loose as well. 2 in 1. Don't know what that one is. Can't see it. 220. So 220 main. What's the needle? Needle is 105. Okay, we're in. So, we want the air screw out, don't we? The air mixture screw. The O-ring looks okay. And we're ready to go. So just before we get going with it, just let's look at the objective. So I've got a few people ask me different bits and pieces on this. So what you're looking at on this picture is, if you like, if that was going to be in there, it would be that way around. You're looking at it like that. It's okay, the main jet's not there, but there's the jet holder for the needle in the main. So they've milled at this. We've got this off the Triumph Rat site. So somebody's milled like 10 mil off this face round here, just to see what's going on inside. So let's just go through the. So there's our. Let's get our mixture screw. So that's where our mixture screw is going to sit, and that taper just goes, it's not even a seat, it's just an edge, and all you're doing is opening or closing the flow of air. So the air comes in through the back of the carb, and in this case it's through this hole, so air straight in down where that bulge is, seats about there, and obviously that's going to give you your more air, less air. And then you've got this chamber here. There's a brass core plug, because obviously they've got to have like the mixing chamber, if you like, and you've got the two holes. So if you look down, you might not be able to pick them up on this. Let's get the torch. You've got underneath that brass, can we get them both just? Underneath that brass core plug, you've got these two small holes, one there, one there. One is on the inside of the slide and one's on the outside of the slide. And for a fixed pilot, the pilot is actually there, and they've actually milled half the fixed pilot away as well. So we'd looked at this before. It's very, very small. That's it. And we did a kind of like rough cross-sectional drawing of it, like that. And that's what it's like inside. So there's your 20 cc's or 25 or whatever your carb is. There's a bit of a taper in because it's pushed in from this side, so it has a little bit of a taper. And I would have thought, you know, you need a bit of mass to the body, but to drill that small hole all the way through is too much. So they have a big hole for about 3/4 of the way through, and then your 20 cc's pilot, which is a 0.387 hole, millimeters, gives you the actual fuel flow. And that then, let's get it the right way around, same as the drawing, and that then comes to this hole here. That's drilled that way, then drilled that way. It obviously needs to be blanked off, because otherwise it'd be sucking air in as well. So that blanking, you need to drill the hole that way into this gallery. So when the hole's been drilled, that's blanked off. Then that hole is drilled down into it, and that then picks up on whether it's a left-handed or a right-handed carb off that hole, which goes all the way down. Can I get the light to get it? It goes all the way down into the float chamber. So the venturi effect draws the fuel up through there, down there, air down there and down there, and it's mixed in that area, and it comes out in those two little holes when you're all like anything less than quarter throttle or whatever it is. So the idea is we're going to remove this jet, and we're going to fit a remote one. So the remote one, that's in the way, the remote one would be around there somewhere, wouldn't it? With the hole in it. So let me just set up a few more bits, and we'll be back in a second to work out how we're going to get that jet out of there without doing any damage. So see you in a second. Okay, here we go. So we need to set our stall out, so we need a few things. Let's just get rid of this for a second. Move this up a tad. We need a 6.5mm drill bit, and we're not going to drill anything with this, but we use this to centralise, or to get this really square because we've got to drill out this blanking plug. So that is sized at 6.5, and that we can use that to line everything up in the drill press. I mean, you could drill it out by hand. I mean, that I'm not that type of person. I need to be in control of what I'm drilling, so I'd have to drill mine in a drill press. But if you didn't have a drill press and you were dexterous with a hand drill or a battery drill, then you could drill that blanking plug out, you know, by hand. Then also we're going to take the blanking plug out, drill it out with a 4mm drill. Let's get the torch and just have a look down there. I mean, there could be some different variations of this, I don't know, but these are the only ones I've ever seen. But there is kind of the right one. There we go. You can just see it there, and it's like a cup, if you like. So we only want to drill it out big enough to get the jet out, to drift the jet out. So that's going to open it up. That's going to give us our alignment. And then we need a punch. Now the punch I made because I didn't have one. But this is a jet which I've took out from another carburetor. I've done a couple of these now. So there's the jet that's coming out. And if we measure it, it's 2.5mm. So you need a punch which is smaller than 2.5mm in diameter. So this was just a bit of, I think this was a bit of silver steel, bit of carbon steel. You don't need carbon steel, you could do it with a bit of mild steel, because, you know, a bit of bright drawn bar or something, because you're only drifting out a soft, you know, this soft brass bush, if you like, and it isn't that tight in there. So you got to go a little bit smaller, and I'm 0.06 of a millimetre less than what the jet size is. And I don't know, you need a fair bit of length to it to get through the carb, and it's 40mm. You need about 40mm of length. So that's going to be our punch. So we need about 40mm of length. And obviously we know that it has to be less than 2.5mm. In our case, I can't remember, what was it, 2.44 or something, and we did ours to 2.44, so we got a 0.06 clearance, and that's that. Then to fit the pilot, there's our new remote pilot, coming 20, 25, 30, 35 or whatever, so you can now play around with the jet sizes, obviously, where you couldn't before. This has a 5BA thread on it, so you need a 5BA tap, and we'll just quickly look at this. So they are actually, they're all, I've never seen one, even though they've got the remote pilot in here, the fixed pilot. They're all threaded, but if you can just see, if I get my little pointer, that there is a crimp mark there, there and there, like 3 crimp marks. Just fold the edge of the thread over so you cannot screw one of them, it just won't go in. So that's what you need the 5BA for, because you're going to open that up so that goes in nicely and easily. And at that point now we're ready to set this up in the drill press to drill this plug out. So let's have another quick look at the plug before we go. So it's like a core plug, but with deeper sides, like a cupped core plug, and that's what we're going to drill out with our 4mm drill. So let's set this up in the drill press and we'll be back in a second. Okay, so there's a flat on the other side like this, and I've just put a bit of, it's actually a lathe tool, nice and parallel underneath, so I've got something to push down onto. I've put the 6.5mm drill in upside down because I just need the shank, obviously. I've just nipped everything up. Don't need to go mad because we're only drilling very lightly, and I've just clamped the vise to the desk, to the bench, whatever. So this out, my 4mm in, and we're away. So we should, as soon as you feel this breakthrough, stop. Okay, we're drilling. And we're through. And that's it. So, I don't know, it's probably, I'm going to say 4mm, 5mm. It's gone through, and then once you break through into a cavity behind the pilot. You can feel it, so as soon as you feel that, stop drilling straight away. So we're in and we're done. So we'll have to wait till we get on the bench to be able to see, but it's done anyway. So let's set up back on the other side and let's have a go at drifting out our fixed pilot. So see you in a sec. Okay, let's have a go. So the last few I did, these drifted out quite easily. So unlike when you're adjusting the float height with the brass seat, where you need to warm the float bowl up because the coefficient of expansion of this Zamac or Mizac is greater than the brass. This you don't need, they seem to come out quite easily. So I'm just going to pack it up so it's got something nice to rest on, and I'm just going to gently just move you into the frame a bit. So I'm on it there with my little drift, he said. I can feel it moving now. Yeah, definitely moving. And voila. And there we have our removed pilot jet. There we go. So let's set up for tapping and then we'll be back in a second. Okay, so this is the not the taper, this is like the second or the plug tap. So just a case of a bit of weight on it to get it started where it's been peened over. and it's away. I can feel it cutting or removing that extra bit of material, and we're done. And that's because it's really, really soft material, isn't it, this stuff? And all we're left with now is, oh, let's try it. Let's try it first. Come on, baby. Come on, you can do it. There we go. The appropriate screwdriver. Always make sure you get the screwdrivers that are slots and blades match, because obviously brass is very easily damaged. Just wants a nip, and there we are. I'm going to take it back out because this needs a damn good wash and blast through with carb cleaner and the airline, because obviously good chance this debris is still inside there from when we drilled out. But we're still left with, we need to now plug the hole. So let's just clear the decks and we'll be back in a second. Okay, we are nearly there. Obviously now we're left with a hole in here that we don't need. So we knew that for sure, that the blanking plug was there right inside, and it was, we drilled out 4mm, but we know that this portion here before the blanking plug was exactly 6.5, because that 6.5 drill was a beautiful fit. So we're left with, what I've done is just a bit of aluminium. I've just turned up, it's 9 long, 9.2 long, and I've gone, what's mine, 6.62, so 0.12 of a millimetre over size, but I have also put a bit of a lead on there, so it'll be a snug fit. I probably don't need to do that, but you can just put a touch. I wouldn't put it on the carb body in case it goes into the jetting area, but just put a little bit on the start, and then taper in and it should just look at that, perfectus rectus, baby. And if you ever want to take it out, obviously you've made the tool. I'm not going to, but now you can just drift the plug out and you'll be able to get that gallery and that area spotless, you know, the area where it furs up. So obviously simple job putting the carb back together, but where did I originally get the idea from? Obviously I've worked on monoblocks and concentrics and all that junk for years, and I had this bit of literature from Mr. Amal, who's now Mr. Berlin, I think, but there was a lovely illustration here which gave me the idea. So trying to get the reflection, you can see the original bushing there, like it says here, pilot jet is replaced by a pilot bush positioned here on certain models. And then on the next picture you can see where the one that we've just fitted. So I thought, if you could, I was thinking of drilling it out from that direction, but obviously the plug is the way to go. And that's how you fit your remote, changeable, cleanable, upgradable, size-wiseable jet in a 600 or a 900 series Amal Concentric carburetor. Anyway, that's it folks, it's beer o'clock, and we'll catch you on the next one. Take it easy guys.